Well, hey, it's time for you to buy your first home. This is very exciting. Congratulations. But maybe you are in a place where you're like, I have no idea what to do. So stick around. We are going to help you out with that. With 5 tips to buying your first home. Channel. This is your girl Julia with Berkshire Hathaway, serving you in Delaware and Pennsylvania. And this channel is designed with you in mind to give you real estate tips and tricks. So make sure you join me each and every Monday by clicking that subscribe button and the bell button. And that tells the YouTube algorithm that other people need this information, so they pass it along. So I would love that. Appreciate it very much. So we are talking about today 5 tips to help you move forward as a first-time home buyer. So tip number 1 is to make sure that you are fully pre-approved. Now, you might have heard me on some other videos that I did a while back, but there's a difference between a pre-qualification and a pre-approval. A pre-qualification just means you basically have called a bank and said, I'm Joe Schmo, I work here, and I don't know who Joe Schmo is, but if you're out there, Joe, thank you for letting us use your name all the time. You basically have verbally given the lender the information, and they said, okay, well, based on that information, here's how much house you can afford. That to me is not a very safe way to go about buying a home, because sometimes you forget that you had a bankruptcy, or you went through a messy divorce and some things are still lingering, or you had your credit hit. So I'm a big believer in get a pre-approval, and a pre-approval means the bank has actually now seen your physical records, they've seen your tax returns, they've seen your pay stubs, they know how much income you actually have, how much you have in savings, what your credit score actually is. So a lot of people, again, they think that, oh, my credit is excellent. Well, if you forgot about something, or if something happened along the way you don't know about in your credit report, that's definitely going to come up. So get your pre-approval, make sure that is taken care of in your realtor's hands, because they are going to need that when you sign on the dotted line to make an offer on your first home. First-time home buyers have a huge advantage to state programs. Now, depending on what your state is or where you are, you may have some housing authority programs that you can take advantage of. They will maybe give you a certain amount of points. Now, you'll pay for those points with your mortgage interest rate, but if you need the help and support up front, it might be worth it for you to go ahead and take advantage of those programs. You also may have some tax advantages. Getting your taxes together after you have purchased your first home, you are letting your accountant know, okay, this is what has happened, I bought this house, and so on and so forth, and they will be able to accurately do your taxes for you. Another item is transfer taxes. I know here in the state of Delaware, you get a discount on your transfer taxes, where normally it would be a 2% transfer tax. You get 1.25%. So you get a 0.75% discount on your transfer taxes. That's significant. So take advantage of these programs that are out there for you. There are also sometimes seller concessions. So when you're looking to buy your first home, a lot of times the seller may, they don't have to, but they may decide to help you and give you, $5,000 towards closing costs. So like I said, take advantage of those. They're worth it. Your second item would be to now start to look for the actual home that you know that you can afford. And that just makes things a lot less stressful. You're not now thinking, gee, well, if I can get into this neighborhood or that neighborhood, look, if you know how much you can spend, you pretty much know what neighborhood you can live in. So it could be $1 million or it could be $150,000. It doesn't matter, but it just gives you a lot more peace of mind. Make sure you're with your realtor, because they have live information off of the MLS that they know exactly what's going on right now. Okay, number 3, so now you have found your home that you want to make an offer on. So obviously your realtor will go through all the paperwork with you. There's some back-end paperwork that has to happen with the brokerages. Then there is the paperwork that actually happens to make the offer. So you will have your seller's disclosure to review and sign, so that you are well aware of everything that's going on in that house, the lead disclosure, the radon disclosure, and you'll have your agreement of sale. Now, with COVID and everything, they had some additional forms that you may have to sign. Your realtor will take care of explaining all of that to you. With your offer that you do make, you will need to put a deposit down. Now, I'm a big believer in at least 1.5% of the asking price. So for instance, let's say you want to buy a house that's $450,000. Well, 1.5% of that is about $6,750, but I would venture to say just if you can manage to put $10,000 down, anything less than that, of course, you would scale it down. But you want to let the seller know that you're serious about purchasing that house, and having a nice strong deposit is a great way to do that. Make sure you know when you need to settle versus when you could settle, in case there's a discrepancy with the seller, if they need to be out sooner or later. Once your agreement of sale is agreed upon and everyone is happy and on the same page and the paperwork is signed, now it is time to get your inspection. You want to get it done early. And then this way, if there are any issues, you are able to address them in a much more timely fashion. Also keep in mind that once that agreement of sale is signed, the clock starts ticking and you are now on deadlines. There are particular dates that have to be met. Otherwise, you're considered out of contract and you don't want to be there. Stay in contract. So the inspection part, that was number 4. Sorry. Number 4, not number 8. And then number 5 is your actual down payment once you get to settlement. So the reason I bring that up is because some people will tend to say, oh, I'm pre-approved for $500,000. I've needed a new car, so I have enough credit. I have teased my buyers in the past and said, if you can avoid eating between now and settlement, that would be a good thing. If you can just wait until the day after settlement, wait until the papers are signed before you go buy a new washing machine or a new car, or you get a student loan, or if you cannot avoid it, please reach out to your lender immediately to let them know so they can make any adjustments in your loan or in your buying power, because it may affect how much house you can afford. So those are our 5 tips. I keep doing doubles, not 10 tips, 5 tips. Those are 5 tips for you first-time home buyers out there. It's a very exciting time, but you want to have it as the least amount of stress that you possibly can. I hope that's helpful for you. Check out some of the other videos, and I will see you on the next one.